And in another episode of Am I the Beephole?
I love these.
Am I the Beephole for hiding my child's savings account from my ex and not letting him contribute? Here we go.
Wait, what?
My ex and I divorced 8 years ago. We have a 12-year-old son together. We don't discuss finances other than child support. I don't care for any money he may or may not give to our child directly.
Okay.
Years ago, I opened a savings account for my kid. I religiously transfer a set amount plus child benefit into every single month.
Wow.
I also put some loose change in there whenever I can. My kid knows of this account and gets to decide if any monetary gifts from family and friends are to be spent immediately or added to his growing savings. He doesn't keep tabs on the account, but has a rough idea of how much he gets every month and how much he's got already.
That's pretty cool.
My son must have told my ex about the account because my ex approached me about it. He asked to see the account. I refused. He asked to at least know the exact amount. He has a rough idea. I refused. I don't see the point. He asked to contribute and become a co-owner, as in the account is to be from mom and dad. I asked if he'd like to make a big initial payment. He doesn't, as he doesn't have that kind of money to just throw into the account nobody can access for years. He just wants to join in now and throw in some cash here and there, but the amount that's already in there is to be overlooked. I refused.
Let me see.
That's how much? Like,
Hey, come on, let me see.
What'd you say? Hey, put on this piece of paper.
Hey, how much?
Right, how
though?
much? That sounds so shady.
With the shades and that jacket.
Right?
like,
Hey, fool, how much is in there?
He told me that I can only afford that thanks to his child support contributions. I told him that the child support is his duty and is spent on our son's current needs, not for him to hold it over my head. He called me a jerk for not telling him about the account when I first opened it because now he's 8 years behind and won't be able to match it, and it will look bad when my kid grows up and only gets my support.
damn.
I told him that it's up to him whether or not he invests in our child's future. He still has a long time to save something if he so wishes. He told me I was a jerk for purposefully making him look like a bad dad for not having thought of something like this. I don't think it's fair to ask him to jump in and claim to have contributed to the savings I've worked hard for years. But now I wonder if I actually acted like a beephole for creating a situation in which I look like the better and more caring parent.
One thing that raises a red flag for me is, why can't you just contribute? Why do you have to be a part of the account?
Yeah.
Like,
That's shady.
if you can withdraw money, that makes me feel like, and why do you need to know the total? Like, if you contribute like, I don't know, $50 a month or whatever, like, just do that.
I think he's insecure at the idea that even if he only starts contributing $50 a month now, but she's already been doing it for 8 years, and then his stance is, I've been paying child support.
Yeah, he's been paying child support, so it's okay, no?
I think it's the idea of like this one account that somehow got leaked to him by the kid.
Oh, your mom give you this whole thing, but also I've been paying for your things every month, no?
Yeah, couldn't some of that be the money she's putting in?
No, she is. She is putting some of the benefits into it.
yeah.
The kid will know, like, yeah, dad put the thing, give us every month, no?
I'd say, I mean, I guess he's just worried about the optics of when he gets to like age 18 and
just
he
how
gets
it
the
looks.
account, and
How
it's
it
like,
looks.
mom did this account for me. He might not necessarily compute that it's like, oh, like that was only also possible because dad always paid child support. I think he's afraid that the dad's afraid that like my name's not a co-owner of the account, so there's not like a giant gift at the end when the kid turns 18.
But if the mom is nice enough, maybe she'll be like, oh, your dad also paid child support every month, and I kind of like got an 8-year head start.
I think there's a lot of weird things. I think the first one is being another account holder on the account. That's weird.
Especially if he doesn't have that kind of money to match it.
Yeah.
So if he has less money, I see that more of a threat.
And he's focused on the wrong thing. Like, he's focused on how he looks, which is a selfish goal, rather than how much the kid actually has later on.
Yeah, that's a bigger thing.
Because it's like, I think if he's like a dope dad, it's like, okay, if you can commit this much, I'll just commit this much. It's not as much, but ultimately, I want the person that reaped the rewards to be my kid and not how much praise I have. Yeah. And then the other thing is, I don't know if he has that good of a relationship with his kid, because most kids just want the relationship even way more than the money.
That's true.
So if you and your dad are tight as and you gave him $0, the kid will be like, dude, my dad was so fucking cool to me. Like, yeah, I got this account from my mom, but she's a bitch. I actually like my dad or whatever, you know?
but the dad is, I think, focused on like, yo, I want to give 50-50. Like, imagine if I'm just gonna imagine that he doesn't want to steal from his kid and whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he just wants to look at the account and go, oh shit, all right, there's like 30 grand in there. All right, fuck. Well, that means I gotta like try to match that. And then at the end of it, it's like, yo, I gave 50-50 too, you know, and I'm doing my part. If he's coming at it that way, I can see that. But my fucking spider senses tells me that this guy wants to steal some of that, whether manipulate their son or whatever. And if he doesn't have that kind of money, and if the kid has more money in his savings, and if he's a signer on it and he can withdraw at any given time, he can pull that money out because the bank is not going to stop him. I don't know who this guy is, but dude, that just sounds like
It seems like he wants to take it out.
it's dangerous.
Or if the lady is being a bitch and you really cared about your kid, just start another account and you create another account. And yeah, maybe it'll be less, but if you really cared about the kid getting the money at the end, it might be half of whatever has already been saved up, but then now the kid will end up with 2 savings accounts when he's 18 or whatever.
Right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or just fucking buy like a house, all this stuff, and as you grow, whatever, and then just fucking, you know, write your will off to your kid and send that off. Like, why? It's just a weird kind of petty ass
Yeah, it's so petty.
mentality.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
It's probably also just like packaged with an insecurity of already like not being the main caregiver to the child and only having to just pay child support, and then finding out that like, oh, here's another thing that when the kid turns 18 is gonna be like, you weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Because this is actually my exact situation. My parents got divorced when I was 6, and my mom had a savings account for me. All my red envelopes went into there. And my dad paid my mom child support. It was like $500 a month. And up to when I was 18, I knew there was way more money in the savings account because on my mom's side, but I never held that against my dad because I knew my mom's job paid more than my dad. Like, my dad was a dealer at a casino. My mom worked like an actual like 9-to-5 corporate job. So she was making like maybe 70 or 80 G's a year by the time I was 18. And then, you know, if you're a dealer at a casino, you don't really make that much. And so I never held that against my dad.
Do you feel like your dad held that against himself?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know if he did. As a kid, you just want a relationship with your parent, and that relationship isn't really tied to the money, you know?
This guy is probably, if he cares about even just like competing, he's already a good dad. Cause like my dad was like, mom was like, hey, can you spare like $200 a month just for like school supplies and clothes and shit? And he was like, you trying to rob me dry, woman? Like these fucking gold diggers, after you get a divorce, you try to fucking take all the man's wealth. And I'm like, motherfucker, it's $200 a month. And I know this is like 2003 or whatever, but that's $200 a month, bro. But this guy, he wants to put money in. And it's like, I don't know. That's still good, even if it's a petty like desire. It's like he's not thinking about it in a way where it's like, I don't want to do it, because there's a lot of fathers out there that don't want to do shit.
I also wonder if he's thinking like I pay child support, you take this child support, you put it into this account that looks like it comes from you when he's 18.
That's how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing like, oh, here's the money you gave me. I'm gonna make an account. Now I'm putting it in here, and I'm giving it to this guy. It's like,
Did you say 80,000? That's a lot though.
We don't know, right?
yeah,
Oh, I know.
No, I said 8 years.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
yeah, because he's contributing. It's just now his name's not on it.
I think where they both fucking up is this is a savings account, bro. Every year you're losing money. Like the inflation's fucking you so hard.
OG.
Buy your kid a Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, you could be going to, come on, man.
Yeah, to the moon, you know?
She fucking up, dude.
So she is the asshole.
Yeah, by putting it in a savings account.
What would you do if you were the if you
Bitcoin all the way, fucking, I don't know, find a good ETF or some shit. At least get something that has 5% returns, man. Don't be a dodo bird.
Dodo bird.
If he can't pull out until he's 18, we could give her the benefit of the doubt. It's one of those kids' investment college funds.
Nah, man, they're fucking putting it in a CD. Certificate of deposit with a 2% return, man.
But you know what though? Like maybe after when the kid grows up, maybe he's 15 or 18, he could, if he's a good father, he would if he had a good relationship with the kid, that he could still explain himself like, hey, I did pay the child support, but it's just that your mom took the things.
But I think it does go back to what you're saying. Like, it is the relationship.
The relationship
first.
is more than
the rest will
anything.
fall by the wayside. You know.
Like when I got kicked out of school and I went to live with my dad, more than all the money that he had to start raising me at 15 was I saw him work a graveyard shift. So he goes to work at 5, comes back home at 2. Every morning he still woke up at 7 to take me to school.
Wow.
So that commitment, I was like, this fool's committed. Like more than like money or fucking buying food or anything. Just seeing his actions and trying to be as involved in my life as he could. At the time, I'm like, dude, this fool's committed.
Do you feel like that set an example for you of like how you lived your life and how you raised Taika?
Even at that time, I felt like I'm not gonna admit it. I'm trying to be hard.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm a fucking bitch. I can't even wake up. I can't even wake up if I slept at midnight. This fool went to sleep at 2, and he just wakes up at 6 just to take me to school at 7. I'm like, this is crazy.
That's cool.
That's true.
That's love right there.
For a whole year, he did that.
Yeah.
Until I could drive.
Was your dad always there when you were younger?
No, my parents got divorced when I was 6.
But you
so
lived with mom?
I lived with my mom, and I only saw him on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
And he would take you to school on those days?
But every Tuesday and Wednesday, I also felt from him that I'm the priority.
Wow.
Where I'll hear like some of my other friends, you know, they had like a split up or whatever, and then like, you know, you're hanging out with your friend, you're like, oh, isn't like your kid supposed to be over there? Nah, that dad's going to a Dodgers game or whatever. I never had that. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, I felt from my pops that was his most cherished day. And there was never a day where he would be like, oh yeah, my friend came in from town, I have to go see him, so I'm not going to see you this week. Wow. It was every Tuesday and Wednesday.
I do think like up until being a teenager, you want to be with your parents a lot, and that's worth more than like knowing you got a savings account.
Yeah.
You did?
So I had my father. I had a father till I was like 14, which is a good age of like being like, oh fuck this fool, I don't want to be around him. Because by that time too, you're like, oh my parents are so lame. Like I don't want to see them. Like they're embarrassing. So it was like a good kind of moment. But if that happened to me when I was like 4 or 5, I think that would be different. Yeah.
Plus, like when you're like 18 too, you don't even think about money like that.
Yeah.
On average, so it's like you'd be like, damn, my mom like she did the savings account, now it's like 50 grand. But my dad, he got me a motorcycle.
True. You can't tell. Yeah, you can't tell. It's like a $2,000 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know,
But
this guy
on
still has
the-
a chance to make a very lasting impact.
If I wanted to be an involved father like him, right? And let's say like your visitation rights is only like once a week, and you're known as like the guy you're paying child support, but the kid doesn't fucking see that and feel that, right? And then like how else can you make an impact, and how else can you contribute, and how else can you father? And then you feel like she has so much impact and control over like her image of everything. And then you're just like, fuck, dude, like now I feel like even more of a loser because I want to do more, but I can't.
You think he's just projecting or some shit?
Yeah, it's just, but you're already in a more insecure mindset because you don't have the time you want to spend with your kid. Or maybe he has to work hella far away so he can't even see him, you know? Like, so if I put myself in those shoes, yeah, I'd feel like, fuck, like, I don't want to raise a kid where, you know, when they're 18, they go, oh, you didn't do enough. You could have done more. Look at what mom did. She did all this shit.
Yeah. The emotion might be justified, but the action is petty. So,
Yeah.
not the asshole, I guess.
Your father, you said Tuesday, Wednesday, but you said he also beat your ass, though, no?
Yeah. Those were the days he beat my ass too.
He was very involved.
So those days, if they're good,
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
But he cherished those days.
Stress beat on Tuesday,
so
Wednesday.
those 2 days,
Driving over to beat up Bart.
those 2 days are good. Is Happy Meal and Yoshinoya.
Oh, wow.
There's a Yoshinoya place right next to my kung fu spot.
Yeah.
And if those days aren't good, then it's beating my ass all over the house. And then in my mind, I'm like, motherfucker, you don't even live here. Get the fuck out of my house. And I lock the bathroom door.
You would beat your ass at your mom's house?
Yeah, because he drops me off.
Oh my god.
And then he would go inside, beat my ass, and then inside I'm like, what are you doing in here? You don't live here anymore.
Bro.